Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Monday the 8th of November. So let's get on and look at these markets. Starting off, actually let's look at the risk events that's likely to affect us today, looking at the calendar here. And well, it's mainly speakers this afternoon, that is it. Now some of these speakers, I do wonder what, some of the things that they're attending, you sort of wonder, is it actually going to affect the markets? But mainly were two Fed speakers. We've got Bailey speaking there, so when Bailey's speaking, you never know, you may get another Bank of England speaker, so I should be wary. I mean, this is at 5 o'clock in the evening, so most people will have been finished day trading at that point, but still, these are risk events which you should be aware of anyway, 2 p.m. this afternoon, but nothing else. Remember, the clocks have clicked back in the US, so the data and the news will be back into normal time, so just watch out for that. Okay, let's have a look then at the currencies first and what's going on here. Now, the euro pushed in a pretty pretty convincing. It broke the prior lows there, which I've been sitting looking at for some time, broke those, but managed to bounce on Friday, and pretty reasonable bounce. It's not a key reversal bar of significant shape or whatever else, but it's all the same, managed to bounce. And I'm just looking at this sort of market at the moment. As you come down to the hourlies here, it did manage on Friday still a higher low on the hourlies. Question today then is, can it break above the 1575 area where it would be seen as a hint more bullish, or is it going to roll back over, break the daily pivot, in which case I'd be looking for those lows eventually to be taken out. Bigger picture still is very bearish looking on it, particularly of the lower highs that have been confirmed through last week, and that was to say on Friday. So it is a bearish looking market. Mondays are a bit of a funny old thing, and we could see a bounce, but anyway, let's move on to the pound. Pound again, it double bottomed there effectively. It came a little bit short. It just literally went into the bodies. This is why I so often target the bodies and not the wicks these days for exits. You see so much of this. Now, it doesn't mean to say it's not going to come back and break that level, but it just happens so frequently. Anyway, let's look at the 4 hourly. We've got the weekly pivot above. If we get any sort of draw to the upside, the pound took quite a hammering last week. It was looking quite bearish a short while ago. It's picked up through the Asian session, you could argue. Weekly pivot sits, as I said, above. If it could be a draw, just see how it kicks off this morning. Really, it's still looking quite bearish in the bigger scheme of things here. But it might be a good place to wait until that weekly pivot's taken out, if we do get a break to the upside. This small consolidated phase. The dollar yen. I drew the wedge back on here. I say the wedge, the range. Beg your pardon. It seems to be pushing. Well, trying to break through towards that monthly pivot. I'll be happier. Overall, I'm bullish on the dollar yen in the bigger picture. Although saying that, this is a fundamental picture, I should say. The technical picture at the moment has confirmed, trying to confirm a lower high. It's a right mess on the dailies there, and it's sort of very, very rangy. It's weekly pivot just above, which could draw it. It's just looking at what else is going on here. It's a bit of a sort of a mess at the moment. We've seen this sort of a little bit of sort of dollar weakness, and well, this is the little bit of dollar weakness that we're seeing through on the yen at this stage. Weekly pivot above there, as I say, could be the draw, but it's just been sitting in that range. Maybe it will stay with it and get back in the range a little bit further. A break a bit further up might just signify further upside, but it's just such a mess, the yen at the moment. Aussie dollar Aussie dollar, okay, came back on Friday into the daily 50 there, found a bit of support, ended up nice doji. So again, we've seen double bottoms on some of the markets. We've seen a doji here, bullish engulfing bar there on Friday, and it's sort of looking like it wants to push up towards that weekly pivot, which will give us a higher low. And maybe, I mean, maybe this is the sort of a corrective move. Last week was certainly a corrective move to the downside after the sort of very dovish approach from the central bank there, but when you shape everything up, it's probably not I wouldn't be selling it for too long. It's got the potential to get another step up on the dailies. It maybe just need another day or so just to watch that, but it's still, in the bigger picture, still got that hint of bullishness. I'm not sure the commodities are over yet. Canadian dollar, well, finding a bit of support into its monthly pivot there. It was looking a lot worse on Friday when I looked at it a couple of times, and it's ended up on a sort of nice looking technical picture here. It's trying to do something there. There was some RSI divergence I think I spotted on Friday. Let's just pop that on there. There you go. It's a weak old divergence, hadn't really gone anywhere too far. The weekly pivot is currently below, so it's a similar picture to where we're seeing, or inverted picture I should say, to what we're seeing on the euro and a couple of the other markets at the moment. And well, a breakdown here may be possible. I'm still seeing the Canadian dollar as one of the stronger pairs, along with the New Zealand dollar, which could do something more to the downside in this case, to the upside in the New Zealand pair. But well, we'll just have to be a bit more patient. It's at the moment it's getting quite choppy, sort of choppy old day with the news and everything that came out on Friday. It's not really going anywhere too much. In fact, Friday's non-farms were a bit of a damp squid all round. US numbers as well were not particularly great there. Okay, New Zealand dollar. Finally here, as I said, it's one of my stronger candidates for me, where it's pushing up again at the moment here, and well, higher lows kicked in through the weekly pivot already. It's much more bullish than some of these other markets. Maybe we'll see a continuation today of this later today as it's pushing up there. To me, it's just much cleaner. Some smaller retracements may give opportunities, or even breakouts if we get them, for the upside on that New Zealand dollar. Right, okay, that's the majors there. A couple of cross pairs as ever, euro yen. I've talked about this quite a lot. Let's just look at the bigger picture. This, to me, I was looking at it on Friday and still looks quite bearish. Today, well, of course, we've got a green bar in there. It sort of fools the mind sometimes, but that may just come up to the weekly pivot here, in which case I would look at that, and if it does get up there, look at the opportunities, get a bit of a reversal candle in, and maybe go with the flow effectively. Short term, it's not giving too much away, higher low on the 60 minutes, I guess, and as I said, there is that weekly pivot just above there, which may provide some decent resistance. Okay, the currencies for now. Let's look at commodities, a couple of commodities at least. Let's look at the gold price here. Real shift even up on Friday there. Really solid move, bounce back there. It's almost as some of the countries are sort of stepping away and trying to keep away from any increases in rates or whatever else, and it's sort of well, high inflation and no increase in rates is more positive for the for gold prices, and that's what we're seeing here at the moment. For me, from a day trading point of view, it's just so dangerous in terms of some of the moves. Weekly pivot sits underneath here. We may find some support there, but before that we've got the daily pivot. If it rolls over this morning, there is some divergence sitting here on this 60-minute time frame, so a bit of a rollover is possible, but again, gold seems to move better from sort of midday onwards again, but well, not always, but it's sort of got that the better potential from then onwards. As I said, the bounce off that daily pivot may give some opportunities for further upside and a continuation of this move. Oil. So the green light was to pump more oil last week, and then all we see on Friday is a push up and continuation at the moment. I was looking and considering turning my focus towards the short side. Might still do it. It depends on what's going on here, but for now that was quite a shift up we saw on Friday, and well, bit of a mess at the moment. We'll see what happens post 2 p.m. for me. Daily pivot sits below there. There's some potential weakness in this. Not really going too far at the end on Friday. It liked the movements, I guess, in the equity markets pushing up. Oil's pushing up here, but I think there will be more determined moves and more release of oil reserves, etc., to get this oil price down, and consequently you start reducing, or some of the some of the countries try and reduce, force oil prices down, because as I say, the reaction to inflation. Do their best anyway. Certainly the US. Right. Okay. That really does hit badly on voters in the US when petrol is over $3 a gallon. Right, I know. Right, okay, so moving on to the crypto then. So over the weekend, Bitcoin caught the bid for sure. Saturday, Sunday pushing up, and this morning it's going back up into double top area here. Again, it's just literally at the moment just running into the bodies of the previous candles there. It might just get a bit stuffed there. It's not, for me, it's not a day trading currency. I know some will be day trading it, but it still does look, as I said, the consolidation and bullishness, the higher lows that come in here. It could just break back above that level with the optimism that comes through on these markets. Ethereum, again, there you go. Saturday, Sunday pushing up today, taking out, putting in new highs for Ethereum this morning, and still looking in a nice bullish mode there. Ripple, well, yes, Saturday was a good, Sunday pretty decent, and off it's gone this morning, breaking out new near-term highs. It's got some doing to some way to go there to make new highs, but it looks like it's on the route. So certainly a bullish outlook there for the crypto markets, or for the majors at least. Indices overnight then, Asian session, the CSI 300 continues to consolidate around these lows here. I'm still looking quite bearish on that, even though most of the other markets have been doing okay. And Nikkei dropped off last night, I would say through the Asian session, through the Asian session there, just running back south a little bit there, a bit soft. But elsewhere we've got FTSE open now. That's, well, Friday putting in new near-term highs, and well, today is just picking up positively from where it closed, really. Not showing too much. The DAX, again, with all these equity markets, or I say all these equity markets, these European equity markets, I won't really yet want to be standing in front of them and trying to be on the short side. They're all looking quite positive, and the US market is certainly looking positive when we come to those as well. The CAC, they had a stronger week last week than most, and again looking positive right the way through. So the European market's looking strong. Looking at the US markets, well, again, nearly every day last week we saw new highs, or I think it was every day last week, in one way or the other, we saw a new high coming in on the S&Ps. NASDAQ similar, most days there, and the Dow Jones there, not quite every day do we get a new high, but wasn't far off it, and it's certainly looking still bullish. So wouldn't want to be standing in front of any of those. Okay, that's pretty much it for me. I wish you a great day's trading out there, and I will catch you. Last week I mentioned silver. Okay, let's just have a quick look at silver. Sorry, I just noticed that. Yeah, silver's already gone, isn't it? It's funny. Actually, we was talking to the trading room actually about silver, but because starting to look at like it's. I mean, it was certainly heading south last week, and it sort of gets to that point where you think, well, actually, maybe it's worth a buy again. But well, it's quite clean in terms of its market here. It looks a lot cleaner. The risk is a lot less in terms of overall size, although it can still move up relatively quite a bit more. At the moment, it's looking quite bullish in terms of its moves here. Higher lows. There's the Friday move, quite a key reversal there, and it started pushing straight up afterwards. So at the moment, silver looking quite bullish at this stage. It would be quite nice if it came back south and caught some support into the weekly pivot or something, of course. Okay, that's it for now. Got to go. I'll wish you a great day, and I'll speak to you in the morning. Bye for now.